Lucy sits in the church alone and reads the Aurora article on Sunny and Natalia. Sidwell arrives, and it's just them and Natalia's casket. He wasn't expecting to see Lucy, but she says she is his friend and had to be here for him. Lucy is also sorry that he has to deal with the media coverage on Sunny and Natalia today, of all days. Lucy says she enjoyed working with Natalia, who was an amazing woman. Sidwell is concerned that if Marco doesn't get answers as to what happened to her, then he'll never know peace. Lucy can't imagine Sunny was involved, but Sidwell says it's too early to dismiss any possibilities. Lucy asks if it's possible that Natalia mixed her substances. Sidwell cries that anything is possible, and he and Natalia once were very much in love. She gave him a son, and she'll always hold a special place in his heart. However, he fears his son will be haunted by the unanswered questions surrounding Natalia's death for the rest of his life. Lucy says perhaps she can call in favors and get this news story pulled. Sidwell says anything she can do to help ease Marco's pain would be appreciated. In his hotel suite, Marco reads the Aurora article and ignores texts from Lucas. Alexis shows up to offer her condolences and to try to reassure him, no matter that the article in the paper says that Sunny did not kill his mother. She says the article had no facts and was all innuendo, calling it a clickbait article. Alexis says she knows what Sunny is capable of, both good and bad. She knows he would not hurt Natalia, him, or Blaze, as family is the only thing that matters to Sunny. She knows he has his mom's memorial, so she'll leave him. Alexis departs, and Marco gets more texts from Lucas, which he ignores. At Carly's, she, Michael, and Sunny talk in the kitchen. Michael asks to see them to explain that Sasha and Daisy are leaving Port Charles because someone's been targeting Daisy. Carly thinks it must be Drew, but Michael doesn't believe that it's him. Sunny feels that Daisy's abduction and return are a message, indicating that someone wants his attention. All these events, Daisy, the penthouse bombing, that attack in LA, they are all about him. Sunny says he can offer Sasha and Daisy around-the-clock protection. Michael says he offered her that, but she doesn't want to live that way. He says Sasha deserves peace after what she's been through, and he wants to give her that. He just needs them to help him stay strong through this. He says Sasha is taking Daisy for her routine vaccines, and then Jason is taking them to their next destination. Michael says he has to prepare for his next fight, the visitation hearing. If he loses Wiley and Amelia to Drew and Willow, then he has nothing left, so he can't let them win custody. At the hospital, Isaiah checks in on Willow, who is happy she is working with him today. She spots Lucas on duty and knows he won't let her work with him on his services. Isaiah says she is an excellent nurse, and whatever is going on, he assumes Lucas knows that. Lucas approaches them and gives Willow some tests to run, speaking in a monotone and cold voice. Isaiah orders them to stop and hash out whatever this is. Isaiah says they need to find a way to be cordial at work. Lucas explains that he and Willow are on opposite sides of an important matter. Willow says Michael took her kids from her, and Lucas says he made his position clear that Drew shouldn't be around those kids. Eventually, they both agree to keep their issues out of the hospital and will do better while at work. Isaiah says, "That wasn't so hard, was it?" Later, Lucas changes into a suit and sees that his texts to Marco aren't being answered. Meanwhile, Willow thanks Isaiah for stepping in earlier and making an awkward situation a little better. Willow says Lucas isn't the man she wants to fight. Michael is. She admits she made mistakes, but soon she'll be married and be able to provide a stable home for her kids. She says Michael will be a divorced man with 3 kids from 3 different moms. Isaiah says he's never heard her like this. Willow says Michael drove her to this, and she thinks back to taking Daisy. At Anna's, she is on the phone ordering a background check on S. Vaughn. Felicia arrives, and Outback runs out of a bedroom with Anna's shoe. She screams at Emma to get out here. Emma runs out. Anna tells her that Outback ate her shoe and asks how she got into her room. Emma says she must have left her door open when she went to look for a top to borrow. Anna yells that these are vintage from Milan and are older than she is. Gio shows up, and he, Emma, and Outback take off to avoid Anna's wrath. Felicia asks how things are between her and Emma. Anna admits she's worried Emma is in trouble. She doesn't like this guy, Vaughn, she is seeing, and he's much too old for her. Felicia brings up the age gap between her and Robert. Anna says Robert was a good man, she lucked out, and swears she'll find out who Vaughn is as she put a background check in on him. Felicia explains that Vaughn works at the facilities at PCU, which puts him in contact with Dalton, and she wonders if they are both involved in what happened in California with Emma. Vaughn and Joss meet with Jack in his office. Vaughn fears Anna is onto him. Jack says she likely will investigate him, but Vaughn says his record is spotless. Jack notes that will raise even more red flags for someone like Anna, who is one of the best agents he's ever crossed paths with. Jack makes a call, and Anna has already put a background check on Vaughn. He says if they are going to do this, they have to commit fully, and the two of them must become the most convincing couple this town has seen. At the pool, Danny checks in on Sasha, who is enjoying the day with Daisy. Dalton shows up and grabs a lounge chair and complains to Rocco that there are no fresh towels. Rocco says he'll get some. Rocco and Danny chat at the towel station, and Rocco tells Danny what he found out about Britt and his parents, as well as Jason's thoughts on her. Rocco says Danny's dad helped a lot, but he still needs answers. Rocco tells him that he wrote to Britt's mom for help. Dalton snaps at the boys for towels and thinks they need to be paying attention to the guests. Gio and Emma arrive, with Outback in tow, and Emma spots Dalton. Later, Sasha is about to leave when Rocco stops to talk to her. He asks if Daisy recognizes her voice. Sasha believes so, as most moms do, and she also talked to her when she was in the womb, which she believes helps. Rocco then chats with Gio and is glad they are working together today. Gio agrees and says it's nice getting to know him on neutral ground. After a swim, Dalton finds Outback sitting on his chair and yells at Rocco and Danny for making this experience terrible for him. Gio walks over, and Dalton tells Gio that he wants to talk to the manager and says these two boys need to lose their jobs. Emma rushes over and says that the dog is hers and she snuck her in, so don't blame the boys. She says she can make it up to Dalton by volunteering her time to help him. He admits he could use an extra hand, and so can Joss. So, okay. At Lulu's, she asks Jason over and needs him to understand that he can't talk to Rocco about Britt ever again. Lulu explains that this blindsided her and Dante, and they always plan to tell Rocco about Britt. This whole thing brings up painful memories for her of a very dark time. Lulu can't understand how he could paint Britt in a positive light. Jason says he knew a different Britt than she did, and they both must accept that two versions of her existed. Jason says Britt knew what she did to Lulu was wrong, and she changed. He says he hurt Britt badly when he married Carly, and all he can do is make sure people know the good and bad about Britt. Lulu doesn't want to know anything about her good side, but Jason points out that Rocco does. However, he says he won't talk to Rocco again about Britt. Lulu thanks him, but is worried the damage has been done. Rocco's been distant and avoiding her. Jason suggests the boy just needs time, and to trust that he loves her and Dante. She thanks him for making her feel better. Jason says he needs to get going as he has somewhere to be. Later, Alexis checks on Lulu and brings up the hit piece on Sunny. She says this doesn't seem like Aurora or Curtis's style. Lulu says this has nothing to do with her, as she doesn't work at the paper. Alexis would like her help with the matter. Alexis asks Lulu if she can find out who wrote the hit piece on Sunny. Lulu asks why. Alexis wants to protect Christina and brings up that this affects Laura as well. Lulu owes her family everything, so of course she'll help. Anna gets off the phone and tells Felicia that Vaughn's background is squeaky clean. Too clean. She vows to do whatever it takes to find out what is going on with him. Jack says Joss's undercover work has given them a clue. Dalton's cloned phone indicates he's not updating anyone himself electronically. So he's using a messenger to update his employer. Dalton arrives at the church to report to Sidwell. Sidwell says his son will be here any minute and doesn't want him to see them together. Sidwell explains that their mutual friend is unhappy with his progress and is setting up a meeting next week. If Dalton doesn't have the answers, there will be hell to pay. Michael arrives at the hospital to meet Sasha, and Willow notices them. At the pool, Emma tells the boys she is going to work with Dalton, and not just to get them off the hook. She explains that she needs access to Dalton and his files, and believes he's experimenting on animals. She has been trying to stop him for over a year, beginning in California, and this is her best chance. Lucas meets with Carly outside Marco's room at the Metro Court. He says he's worried about Marco, who hasn't replied to his messages. Carly uses a MasterCard to gain access to his room, but it's empty. We then see Marco is locked in a warehouse room. He pounds on the door and yells that they don't want to do this. As he screams for help, Jason stands on the other side. Back at the church, Sidwell stands over her casket and tells Natalia, "May you find peace in death that life rarely afforded you. I promise to take good care of our son." Someone enters, and Sidwell expects it to be Marco. However, it's Sonny, who says his son isn't coming. On the next General Hospital, Drew confronts Carly and says Michael's refusal to compromise will cause him more misery than she could imagine. At the hospital, Willow asks Michael what he's done. At home, Tracy has a proposition for someone. At the church, Lucas tells Jason, "His blood will be on your hands." Finally, Sonny yells at Sidwell, "You got your son into this, get him out!" Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Everywhere Anna looks, there's a heart, a shoe to hold on to. The July 14th, 2025 episode of General Hospital was full of drama across Port Charles, but at least Anna's apartment lent a little comedy amidst the chaos. It may not be as full of the Quartermains, but Anna's got a full house of her own lately. After moving Emma into her apartment when she returned to Port Charles, she then took in Gio after the reveal of his biological parents left him wanting nothing to do with the Quartermains. Throw in a lost dog named Outback, and Anna's household of one has now turned into a little wayward family. Today, as Anna prepared herself a Pop-Tart and let Felicia in for a visit, her morning suddenly erupted into chaos when Outback ran into the living room with one of her favorite red heels in her mouth. As Anna scorned both Outback and Emma, Gio popped in and snagged Anna's Pop-Tart from the toaster for himself. The whole scene brought some comedic relief to what was otherwise a pretty dramatic episode. After Natalia's memorial, Marco found himself too upset to answer Lucas's sympathetic-turned-concerned texts. Later, he found himself locked in a mysterious room, banging on the door for help as Jason walked away. Meanwhile, Sidwell got some unexpected visitors at the church. First, he met with Dalton, letting him know that their mutual acquaintance was not happy with Dalton's slow progress, whatever that may be. Later, Sidwell received a visit from Sonny, ready to start a war. Were you surprised to see Dalton working with Sidwell? Let us know in the comments. General Hospital spoilers report the drama in Port Charles is off the charts, as Willow Corinthos spirals into a dark alliance with Drew Quartermain, sparking fears she's on a vengeful rampage. Reeling from recently losing custody of Amelia and Wiley Corinthos to Michael Corinthos. Willow's rage, fueled by his new family, with Sasha Gilmore Corbin and baby Daisy, has pushed her closer to Drew, whose own schemes make them a volatile pair. With whispers of Willow's involvement in Daisy's July 4th kidnapping, is her partnership with Drew driving a revenge-fueled descent, or will it blow up in her face? Willow's heartbreak over losing her kids, compounded by Drew's lies and scheming, has morphed into a thirst for payback. Her relationship with Drew seems to fuel her darker impulses, with fans now aware she orchestrated Daisy's crib disappearance to hurt Michael and Sasha. Drew's manipulations egg her on, but is Willow just under his spell or an actual willing partner? If her rampage escalates, perhaps with another bold move, will it crush Michael or unravel when Jason Morgan steps in? Drew's grip on Willow, promising to help her regain visitation, masks his own agenda, with his fling with Nina Reeves still hidden. Their dark partnership, possibly plotting against Michael, could see Willow take drastic steps, like framing Sasha for instability. If Jason uncovers their plans, Willow's relationship with his twin brother might crumble. Will Drew's influence push her deeper into vengeance, Or will she wake up to his control before it's too late? If Willow's role in Daisy's kidnapping is exposed, the fallout could destroy her chances for visitation with her own children. Moreover, it could mean she's going to be headed for lockup in a jail cell or a sting in Ferncliff or Shady Brook. Of course, this would shock Michael, and he might be inclined to take mercy on her and suggest that she's had a mental break more so than turned into an unrecognizable version of herself who actually wants to harm anyone else. Sure, her own twin, Nell Benson Jerome, might have been nuts, but Willow has always been fairly even-keeled, despite being easily manipulated. Old habits die hard, as it turns out, so will Willow's dark alliance with Drew fuel a vengeful rampage against Michael and Sasha? Or will it backfire, leaving her shattered and alone? Keep checking back with us for more GH news and spoilers to find out. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Marco Rios will get kidnapped during the week of July 14th to 18th, but who will be the perpetrator behind it? Sonny Corinthos or an unknown villain targeting Gen Z Sidwell? All arrows point to Sonny pressing the button on this. After all, he's made it clear that Sidwell can't get away with his fire attack on Charlie's pub recently, which could have ended up far worse for Christina Corinthos Davis than it did. In fact, the General Hospital preview for the week of July 14th shows a clip of Sonny telling Sidwell that his son is fair game, only to flash to a scene with Marco, tied to a chair and gagged in some unknown and suspicious warehouse. Still, fans know that Sonny is a vicious criminal who has done some cutthroat things in the past, but he has always been above hurting the innocent, and he knows that Marco is innocent in all this. Marco shouldn't be held accountable for his father's sins, so while Sonny may issue a threat that will have Sidwell concerned, his strategy might be all bark, with no intention of biting. There are so many unknowns in this storyline. While fans continue to assume that Sidwell was the one who was behind Sonny's penthouse explosion, it hasn't been confirmed. After the Charlie's pub fire, Jason pointed out this incident was far sloppier than the firebomb in Sonny's condo that almost caused Michael Corinthos' demise earlier this year. This means an unknown threat against Sonny still could be looming. That said, the best way to keep the mob boss preoccupied so another strike could occur would be to start a war with Sonny's nemesis. So is there a possibility that Sonny isn't behind Marco's kidnapping? Of course, even if Sonny swore up and down to Sidwell that he wasn't the one who had taken Marco, would Sidwell believe his enemy? This would create the perfect storm for someone targeting Sonny. Not only could they strike against him and his family at any given hour, but they'd also get an assist from Sidwell, who is bound to hit back at the mob boss once Marco is back safe and secure at Windermere. General Hospital spoilers note, it's also very possible that Sonny is the one who has kidnapped Marco to teach Sidwell a lesson to not mess with him. But in the land of Port Charles, fans need to always brace for a plot twist, so there's also the potential that a third party is involved, playing Sidwell and Sonny against each other for their own agenda. This week on GH, it's Sonny versus Sidwell. Will Marco be collateral damage? Michael makes a bold move to protect Wiley and Amelia. An emotional Portia screams. And does Jason spot Britt? The General Hospital spoilers video preview for the week of July 14th, 2025 is here. Find out what explosive situations will happen this week in Port Charles. Coming up on GH, it's a week of retaliation, protection, and potentially resurrection. It might be eye for an eye time as Sonny insists on telling Sidwell the consequences for messing with his family. Your son is fair game, he claims. After all, Sidwell ordered the Charlie's pub fire that almost killed Christina. And no amount of deflecting guilt onto Selena Wu will stop Sonny from taking action against his newest nemesis. Which is why we assume that Marco is subsequently gagged and tied up in a room. Although we do hear the young attorney say, "You don't want to do this." Will Sonny use Marco to get his revenge against Jens? Meanwhile, as the narrator of this GH promo states that this week will leave you shocked, and after Michael says, "I can't let them get custody," we see Drew and Willow hug. Then the action cuts to Willow wondering, "Michael, what have you done?" It seems that Michael has made a decisive move in the custody battle for Wiley and Amelia. As long as Willow is with Drew, Michael refuses to let her have any sort of custody of the kids. Finally, Portia's scream gives way to the narrator warning of a surprise return. That's when Jason spots a familiar face. Is that Britt Westbourne? If it is, what a timely sighting. Learn 7 interesting facts about General Hospital. Actress Kelly Thiebaud. Kelly Thiebaud was killed off General Hospital as Dr. Britt Westbourne in 2023, a victim of Heather the Hook Weber. Now, in a surprise casting move, she's heading back to the soap. However, the character she'll be playing has yet to be disclosed. No matter who turns out to be, fans are just happy to have the talented actress back. Born in El Campo, Texas, Thiebaud began her career modeling. She went on to appear in 4 music videos for French disc jockey and record producer David Guetta, and soon discovered her passion for acting. She made her screen debut in the 2002 independent film Journey of Redemption. Want to learn more about this actress? Here are 7 things to know about Thiebaud. 1. Thiebaud was quite the athlete in high school. In fact, she excelled in softball, basketball, soccer, track, and volleyball. She was also a member of the cheerleader squad. 2. As GH fans know that Thiebaud has a flair for comedy. She once studied with the Groundlings, the improvisational and sketch comedy troupe and school based in Los Angeles. She also hosted sketch shows at the Second City and was a member of Tickle Crisps, a sketch group that performed in Los Angeles and New York. 3. GH isn't the only soap Thiebaud has appeared on. She actually made her daytime debut on Days of Our Lives in 2011, when she landed a 3-day gig as a character named Alicia. She returned to Days in 2020, this time around playing Zoe Burge, a recurring role that lasted 4 episodes. 4. She won the Outstanding Supporting Actress Daytime Emmy Award for her work as GH's Britt in 2022. She was nominated in the same category again in 2023, but lost to co-star Sonia Eddy, the first posthumous winner in the category. 5. Thiebaud has also had success in primetime. She was cast as Eva Vasquez in Season 3 of the ABC drama station 19 in 2020. 2 years later, she returned to play the recurring character in Season 6. She also had lead roles in the Lifetime TV movies The Surrogate and A Mother on the Edge. 6. Thiebaud was previously involved with her former GH co-star Brian Craig, who played Sonny and Carly's son, Morgan Corinthos. The pair began dating in 2013 and became engaged in 2015, but ultimately ended their relationship the following year. 7. Although she doesn't have any children, Thiebaud is a devoted dog mom to her pooch Whiskey. She shared a photo of herself and her adored pup on Twitter on his birthday back on June 6, 2021, along with the post, "It's Whiskey the dog's birthday. The love I have for this dog is beyond normal, ha ha ha." General Hospital spoilers reveal the fans are questioning why Stella Henry risked her reputation and possibly broke the law to help Marty Gray secure a life-saving surgery, a revelation teased in a heated conversation on July 10, 2025. Stella's decision to go against hospital protocol, hinted at in a tense hospital exchange, has sparked speculation about her motives, especially given Marty's role as Drew Quartermain's lawyer and his shaky ties to the Corinthos family. Was Stella driven by compassion, a hidden agenda, or something deeper? As fans demand answers, could her rule-breaking blow back on her, or will it cement her bond with Marty? Stella's quiet confession to Marty suggested she pulled strings, perhaps bypassing waitlists or falsifying records, to ensure his surgery, a move that could jeopardize her career. If this is just yet another case of Stella being a hero for someone, fine, but why Marty? Her history of fierce advocacy clashes with this bold step for Marty, whose support for Drew's schemes, like blackmailing Dr. Portia Robinson, makes him a polarizing figure for her to align herself with. Did Stella act out of pure heart, or does she have a stake in Marty's survival, possibly tied to his legal work? Stella's choice to go against the rules could stem from a personal connection to Marty, hinted at in their warm rapport, or a desire to counter Drew's influence, which threatens Curtis and Portia's marriage. Alternatively, her move might tie to broader Port Charles drama that hasn't been revealed to us yet. If her actions are exposed, will Stella face legal fallout Or will Marty's gratitude shield her? How might Portia and Curtis feel if the co-chief of staff catches on to what Stella has done? Fans are split, with some cheering, "Stella's heart is gold," and others asking, "What's she hiding?" Stella's rule-breaking could shake up her family in a dramatic way, impacting Marty's defense of Drew and Portia's fight to get out from under the congressman's thumb. Stella risks losing the position she loves so much at GH with this scandal, so there must be something pretty important on the line for her to go rogue like this. Might Stella's bold move to help Marty reveal a deeper motive, or will her compassion cost her dearly as the truth about her protocol breach comes to light? The weapons will be drawn and sides chosen on General Hospital during the week of July 14, 2025. This comes in the wake of Natalia's death, which hints at the arrival of a mob war. Meanwhile, Daisy's danger may force her parents to make decisions that will affect more lives than intended. Elsewhere, the newest WSB agent, Jocelyn, is set to make a move as required. The previous week on General Hospital saw Willow being revealed to be baby Daisy's stalker. While she acted in vengeance to punish Daisy's parents with separation anxiety, it drove Sasha to plan to relocate away from Port Charles. Meanwhile, the feud between Brooklyn and Lulu escalated after the latter's son asked questions about Britt. While BLQ called her nemesis a hypocrite, young Rocco sent a mail to Liesl Obrecht, introducing himself as a grandchild. However, Dante forgave BLQ after she apologized. Elsewhere on General Hospital, Drew intercepted Jacinda and coerced Curtis to do his bidding. Kai confessed to both Curtis and Trina. As such, Trina broke up with him. Meanwhile, Sidwell poisoned his son against Sunny, while the latter planned revenge, keeping Marco as collateral. The long-running ABC soap hints at many affected lives in the upcoming Sunny-Sidwell war on one side, and WSB's mission with Professor Dalton on the other. The week of July 14, 2025, on General Hospital, will see Marco at his mother's funeral. At the service, he may invite some people other than his father. His guests may include his boyfriend, Lucas, and his boss, Alexis. He will likely invite Christina and his father's friend, Lucy. While Sidwell mentions Sunny being behind Natalia's death, the mob boss may arrive at the service unexpectedly. This will likely make Marco angry and abusive towards Sunny. However, Alexis may defend the mob boss, leaving Marco surprised. As he questions his employer, Alexis may explain that Sunny will never hurt Blaze's mother, since Blaze was Christina's friend. Meanwhile, Sidwell will try to stoke his son's anger towards his enemy. As such, he may ask Marco not to get swayed by others' opinions. However, Sunny Corinthos will likely show his power at the event, leading to much chaos and fireworks. After Sasha decided to move away for Daisy's safety, Michael confessed to feeling bad about staying away from his newborn daughter. Although he promised to support Sasha in every choice she made for Daisy, he requested her to go with Jason's protection to a location so far undisclosed to the General Hospital viewers. The upcoming week may find the loving father considering relocating with Sasha and Daisy. However, since he has sole custody of Wiley and Amelia, he may take the children along. If Michael decides to leave town with his children, Willow will be devastated. As such, she may be seen pleading with him to change his decision. Whether she reveals her role in Daisy's stalking remains to be seen. As General Hospital fans already know, Jocelyn pretended to break up with Vaughn to push him closer to Emma. Vaughn was also seen getting friendly with Emma after Joss's fake fight. While Anna got suspicious about Emma's new friend, Emma stole a master key from him. Emma will likely use the key to break into the professor's lab, since Vaughn's assignment is to thwart Emma's attempt to blow up Professor Dalton's project. He will try to keep her away from her mission. Meanwhile, he may realize that Emma has the key and share the intel with Joss. As such, Joss may jump into action to stop Emma from accessing Dalton's lab. That may lead to some tussles and surprises for everyone. Whether the WSB duo is able to stop Emma from exposing Henry Dalton remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Anna will look into Vaughn and may find worrisome news. Elsewhere, Jason will look into Dalton and his project and may find links connecting Jocelyn with WSB. Few and far between are the actors who are as good at playing bad as General Hospital alum Avery Kristen Pohl. So it shouldn't come as any surprise that she was nominated for a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Guest Performer for her splashy send-off as Scheme Queen Esme. "Someone pinch me," she exclaimed on Instagram. "To be nominated next to my TV mom, Allie Mills, ex-Heather, and one of my close friends, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, is more than a dream. I am so honored and grateful," she continued. Thank you to everyone at General Hospital and executive producer, Frank Valentini, for all the wonderful memories and opportunities over the years. See you all October 17th. In response to the news, Pohl's on-screen dad, John Lindstrom, cheered, "To say I'm proud of you would be a gross understatement, but to be doubly proud of you and Allie just makes my year." Lopez was as psyched as her pal, it seemed. "So pumped," she said. "We did it, cutie!" Pohl's General Hospital storyline, you'll recall, ended in 2024 when Esme pursued ex-lover Spencer and his new girlfriend Trina to Paris. The villainous plot to drug them both was only half successful. She managed to jab Spencer with a syringe, then plummeted into the Seine with him, never to be seen again, yet. We would hardly raise an eyebrow were Esme to turn up alive and well down the road. Remember, she already survived what appeared to be a fatal dive off of Windermere's parapet. She and water go together like, well, fish and water. And she's got to be eager to reclaim Ace, her son with Spencer's father, Jailbird Nicholas. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.